Did you know that the ability to listen to your internal states and track their subtle changes is actually a vital skill that most adults have totally lost? It's true. The source material we're analyzing today makes a really good point. As adults, we kind of just lose the ability to truly listen to what's happening inside us. We stop tracking all those subtle nuances and shifts in how we feel throughout the day. Well, this explainer is going to show you how this specific protocol demands that we rebuild that lost skill, really forcing us to pay deep, granular attention to what is happening inside our bodies and our minds.
Now, you might be thinking, well, what if I'm not tired today? I can't really do an exercise on fatigue, right? Actually, scratch that. Because did you know that you can effectively work on a state like fatigue, even if you aren't feeling it right now, simply by recalling a single specific situation from your past? The source highlights that you can work on literally any state by recalling one real, specific situation from your past where you felt that exact way. The goal isn't just to be aware of the present moment, but to safely re-engage with a past state so you can process it. And finally, did you know that for the emotional freedom technique to be truly effective, you must use a precisely targeted setup statement that resonates with your actual reality? Honestly, this is the secret engine of the whole thing. If you take away only one thing from us today, let it be this. For this process to work efficiently and accurately, you absolutely cannot just use broad, abstract words. You have to use a precisely targeted setup statement that fully resonates with your actual reality. It has to feel 100% true to you in that exact moment.
The source stresses a really common pitfall here. People will look at the daily topic, let's say it's fatigue, realize they feel perfectly fine, and then just decide to tap through the motions blindly without actually feeling anything. The material explicitly warns against doing that. If you don't feel fatigue right now, your job is to vividly recall one specific instance from your past. We're talking a real isolated event, not a general feeling, to genuinely summon that state for the exercise. By zeroing in on that past feeling, you bring it back to life right now, which gives you something tangible to actually work with.
Let's see how this builds, because defining the exact words we use, that is the absolute linchpin of the technique. This is where we take the emotion we just located and give it a highly specific name. And this perfectly illustrates why abstract words just fail. Words like fatigue or boredom are just concepts, right? They don't have a personal relationship to you or your specific situation. To actually get results, your setup must perfectly and specifically resonate with your reality. So instead of using the abstract word fatigue, you adapt it to yourself. You might say, I'm exhausted, or even, I'm dying of fatigue. Basically, whatever phrasing accurately matches the intensity of your current reality.
Before we dive into the actual work of moving through the tapping points, we have to prep the physical body. The source material is super clear on this. Mental and emotional work absolutely requires a supportive physical environment to be successful. You have to actively support your body throughout this whole process. First, keep some water nearby and drink it to help your body process the shifts. Second, ensure you have fresh air. Crack open a window or set up some microventilation. Third, maintain a straight, open posture. And finally, make sure to uncross all your limbs. The source even suggests doing this standing up, pacing around the room, or just gently shaking out your arms and legs to keep your body supported and fully engaged.
Now, here is a crucial point. You absolutely must measure and write down your current state before you do a single tap. The protocol uses a scale from -10 to +10. Why? Well, because you need a baseline. You have to document these initial measurements so you can clearly see your own progress. The ultimate goal over time is to move all the way up to a +10, which proves to yourself that the work is actually bringing relief and improving your condition.
After completing a full sequence of points, we enter what is arguably the most critical and reflective part of the whole exercise, the observation phase. This is where that lost skill we talked about earlier really gets put to the test. To close the round, you don't just immediately start tapping again. No, you place your hands back on your heart, take a deep, calm breath, and close your eyes. You must deeply listen to your body. Are there any internal shifts? Have any new thoughts, ideas, or maybe sudden past memories surfaced during the round? You just observe these processes in the body without distraction. And then, this is key, write them all down in your notebook.
Immediately after reflecting, it's time to measure your state again on that -10 to +10 scale. And yes, you must write it down. Making the progress tangible is a core requirement of this protocol. By actually seeing the number shift, you validate for yourself that the technique is actively changing your internal state.
But honestly, beyond just clearing out fatigue, this entire process forces you to become intimately acquainted with your own internal landscape. If you mastered this lost skill of tracking and addressing your internal states with such precise accuracy, how would it change the way you navigate your daily life?